Talking about perilous times. Perilous times. If you go with me to 2 Timothy, we're going to be in the 3rd chapter. This is nothing new to those of you who have been in the church for a while, and you've seen this. And it says this, "But know this, that in the last days perilous times will come. For men will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, unloving, unforgiving, slanderers, without self-control, brutal, despisers of good, traitors, headstrong, haughty, lovers of pleasure rather than the lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying its power, and from such people turn away." That's a mouthful. He starts off and he says, "Know this, Timothy." Now, he's just talked about some other things, and he says, "I want you to know this also." And in the Greek, it's a very emphatic. He's making a point. He's not just saying, "Timothy, here's some other things I got to tell you. Timothy, I'm telling you something. I want you to perk your ears up. Listen to me." It's emphatic. That in the last days, there are going to be very difficult times, perilous times. Access to internet on demand. You know, I can remember as a young man when the internet came up. Funny story. Wasn't funny then. I was at a church. Internet had kind of just come on the scene, so to speak. And some of you remember you went and you hit a button and it went. And an hour and a half later, you were on the internet. I do remember one time we were going to watch the Olympics. I told my wife, I said, "You want to watch the Olympics?" She's like, "Yeah." Well, our only computer was in our bedroom. So I said, "Here's what we do." She was cooking dinner. I said, "I'm going to go take a shower." So she cooked dinner. I ran in the bedroom, hooked the internet up, and went and took a shower. Got out, still wasn't hooked up yet. So we ate dinner, and we came back. "Yeah, it's on." So we watched the Olympics, her and I and the kids, from the bedroom, and it was like, this is crazy. But I was at a church. Jessica was with me. Now, we're talking 90s, okay? Mid-90s. And Jessica was with me, and we went to the San Diego Zoo. And so she's like, "This is crazy. Do they have a giraffe?" You know, the innocence of a young girl, right? I'm like, "I bet they do." So we type up, and there it is. And so we're going through all these things. We played on there for about 30 or 40 minutes, and it was done. And so I said, "Hey, go pick up your stuff. We're going to have to go." And she goes, "Okay." She said, "Dad, am I on the internet?" And I said, "I don't know, girl." Thank God she walked away and went to put her toys up, and I typed in www.jessica.com. Don't do that. Okay? It took me to a site instantaneously, immediately. I said, "Oh my God." And I am trying to get out of this room, and it won't let me out. Every time I hit the X, it brings me into 2 more rooms. And it literally did that 15 or 20 times. Finally, I got it all shut down, and I was like, what do I do? So I went home because it was kind of late. That next morning, I called my pastor. I said, "Hey, I want you to know something. I don't know if y'all got some filters on there, but here's what happened." But do you know that made me feel icky? Like, I felt embarrassed just having to tell my pastor that accidentally, not knowing, truly innocent, pow, this happened. Your kids carry little devices around. Well, it's just a kid show. You're right. Until the kid show's over, or there's a sponsor, or and then bam. Statistically speaking, they said before a kid reaches, I want to say 3rd grade, he'll see 37 pornographic images. You want to know why we're doing Soul Refiner? Because the devil is after you. Men, he's after you because he wants to destroy the head of the house. If I can get you feeling ashamed and beat down and burdened, you won't do your family no good. You'll live in a perpetual place of being ashamed. I want to stop right there because when we get into this list, it's going to be pretty heavy. we're going to talk about, like, I'm going to go into one to give you an idea of what we're going to be talking about next Sunday, okay? It might take us a couple Sundays to get through all this, but is that okay? I know this isn't, Jesus, hi, he, right? But I mean, we're talking about Bible here, right? We're talking about what the people want to know, what should we expect? Let's go to verse 2 for just a quick second. It says that they will become lovers of themselves, all right? Lovers of themselves. The Greek word here is philatos. You hear the word phileo in there, love? And autos, where we get the word autobiography. They will become lovers of themselves. It is properly a lover of self, describing someone preoccupied with their own selfish desires. It gets better. They become self-absorbed, self-centered. Phileo is to love. It's actually Judas, when he kissed Jesus, he phileo him. He kissed him. The Greek picture is someone who kisses themselves as the highest attitude. It's really narcissistic. They're self-consumed. It ain't about anybody but them. And the crazy thing is that they probably would never tell you that. They're not going to say, well, look, man, I live my life for me. All right? But their actions will always show that. So that's why we have to break these words down, because what was it talking about? If you just say, well, they're lovers of themselves, well, they just love themselves. Well, shouldn't we love ourselves? Yes. But this is a wrong picture of loving yourself. The Bible says we're supposed to love our neighbors as we love ourselves, right? Oh, you mean I'm supposed to go kiss on my neighbor? No, that's what he's saying. This is a wrong idea here. They're centered into themselves, and they're not looking at other people.